Coming up next on Eyewitness News at 11 o'clock, Congresswoman Mary Rose Ocar has just come back from a 7-day trip to the Persian Gulf. We'll talk to her and we'll tell you what she saw over there. Residents in the Midwest, they are getting ready for a big earthquake if it happens. That big quake is predicted to hit sometime tomorrow in that part of the country. And the building simply disappears from the Cleveland horizon today. We'll have these stories and more coming up next, right here at 11 o'clock.
Cleveland's live 24-hour news source continues. This is TV5 Eyewitness News with Jim McElroy, meteorologist Shane Hollett, Bob Stevens with sports, and the Eyewitness News team.
Good evening, everyone. It is a sight that is becoming all too familiar here in Ohio and all across the nation, for that matter. Tearful family members waving goodbye to loved ones as they leave in support of Operation Desert Shield. 51 members of this air ambulance unit, the 316th Medical Detachment from Lorain County, is headed to Fort Knox, Kentucky tonight for the mobilization station there. Now, they have been on missions before, but they say that it was the toughest goodbye to make. Jeff and Dreama Mecklenburg, as an example. Their first baby is due in just 2 weeks from now. But Jeff says that his fellow soldiers need him even more.
As a medic, I feel I should be going because that'll provide a lot more opportunity for other people to make it home.
So far, there is no timetable for when or if these troops might be sent to the Persian Gulf. Well, Congresswoman Mary Rose Ocar has just come back to Ohio from that area, and she says that morale among U.S. troops deployed to the Gulf is very high. She's back from a 7-day visit to the region, and today filled reporters in on how things look over there in her perspective. But as Tony Gaskins tells us tonight, there are some things, she says, that could be improved.
This is not America against Iraq. This is the world against Iraq.
After spending about a week in the Saudi Arabian desert with American military forces, Congresswoman Mary Rose Ocar says she is impressed. But she has concerns. She noticed a lack of communication from the states, chiefly newspapers and radio, and says water supplies could be improved. As for the sanctions against Iraq, she's confident they will work given time.
This is a country that has very few, unlike the United States, has very few natural resources except oil.
But how much time should we devote to sanctions before resorting to military action? Ocar says that's a decision for the president and Congress to make.
And only Congress constitutionally can declare war. And I think that if the president decides that the military option is his option, he cannot act unilaterally on such a decision of that magnitude.
Ocar says Saddam Hussein appears to be both homicidal and suicidal, with an unpredictable nature to boot. A deadly foe in anybody's war book. In Cleveland, Tony Gaskins, Eyewitness News.
And Ocar says that experts are now estimating the U.S. troop buildup in the Persian Gulf will be very expensive, ultimately costing just about $30 billion. Well, Iraq's leader, Saddam Hussein, is now saying that there is a 50-50 chance of war breaking out with the United States in the Gulf. But then today, in an interview with the French television station, Saddam said if a meeting with Secretary of State James Baker goes well, then he expects a peaceful solution.
If he makes this meeting a path for dialogue, we will be closer to peace.
But Iraq, like the United States, is getting ready for war tonight. On ABC's This Week with David Brinkley earlier today, Defense Secretary Dick Cheney said that Iraq test-fired several missiles that are capable of carrying chemical weapons. And the United States is saying that no discussion whatsoever of the Arab-Israeli conflict will be a part of talks that will take place between Iraq and the United States. But this weekend, Iraqi officials said that they would make it part of those talks. Well, after a weekend of high-level military discussions, President Bush is now on his way to South America. Mr. Bush left Washington for Brazil today. The week-long tour will take him to 5 countries. He was supposed to take the tour back in September, but because of the Persian Gulf crisis, he had to wait until now. After 6 months and 2 failed attempts, the Space Shuttle Columbia, it has finally made it into orbit around the Earth tonight.
0, and liftoff. Liftoff of the Space Shuttle Columbia and Astro 1.
In a rare and magnificent nighttime launch, Columbia blasted off at about 1:50 this morning. The shuttle is carrying a crew of 7 people and a $150 million Astro Laboratory, which will take pictures of some of the hottest spots in all of the universe. Well, one of the greats of the American music world has passed away this weekend. Composer Aaron Copland, who was called the Dean of American Music by many people, died in a New York hospital this evening of complications from 2 strokes as well as respiratory problems. Copland wrote 2 operas, 6 ballets, and 8 film scores. He won an Oscar, the Pulitzer, as well as the Music Critics Award. Aaron Copland was 90 years old. Big news concerning the Cleveland Plain Dealer. The newspaper, which is now located on 8 acres of land on East 18th and Superior in Cleveland, will build a new $210 million plant on this 84-acre site in suburban Brooklyn. Now, while this building, the Superior building, will stay open, the new plant will handle all of the printing and the distribution. According to the Plain Dealer, the Brooklyn site was chosen over the old Collinwood rail yards in Cleveland for many different reasons. But an official release from Cleveland City Council says that the decision, according to council, is a bad one and that it sets a bad example for other Cleveland businesses. Well, another key step in getting the Gateway Sports Complex built could happen very soon. As sources tell Eyewitness News reporter Alan DePietro, it appears as if the Gateway Committee is going to get signed agreements for leases from both the Indians and the Cavaliers over the next 24 hours. It could happen as soon as early tomorrow afternoon. Now, the leases are seen as a key to getting the important tax-free bonds sold, bonds that will help finance this gigantic project by the deadline of the end of the year. Residents in 5 Midwest states are looking towards tomorrow with a great deal of apprehension. Still to come, we're going to take you to New Madrid, Missouri, along the New Madrid Fault. Will there be a big one, the big earthquake? We'll find out. That's coming up.
Shopping for a used car or truck? If the answer is yes, then put us on your shopping list, because we just bought hundreds of good-looking new car trade-ins during our Thanksgiving sell-a-thon. Full-size luxury cars, family cars, station wagons, custom vans, economy cars, sports cars, trucks. We have what you're looking for in every price category, and they're available for a whole lot less than market value. Many are indoors. Sale prices are clearly marked, so there's no reason to wait. See you tomorrow at your Spitzer Auto stores.
And another thing, you go into some huge discount store for a little bottle of aspirin. You can't find it anywhere, or else there's only one size. Like this. At Revco, it's easy to find what you want in the size you want. Or how about cosmetics in a department store? Here for this, there for that, and it costs a fortune. Revco's got great selection and great prices. Seems like too much to expect from other stores, but exactly what you get from Revco. And another thing.
That kidney transplant, the coronary bypass, the artificial hip. Doctors at the clinic pioneered them and many other treatments. But as health knowledge has added up, so have costs. That's why we're the first to make a 5-year commitment to Super Blue, cost savings from Blue Cross. You're welcome at the clinic. We're working to cure one of today's most serious health problems, paying for them.
Who's who in a Honda? How about this young working mother who found out that the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety named Honda best in small car crash tests? Or this engineer who read that Car and Driver magazine put Honda in its top 10 for 8 straight years?
And right now, during the Northeast Ohio Honda dealers' new model year, you can own a Honda for as little as $7,270 or a 4-door sedan for only $99.45.
Who's who in a Honda? How about you?
See the 91 Hondas now at your Northeast Ohio Honda dealers.
This is Nev Chandler. We'll see the ramifications of the Browns' new work ethic this Sunday.
Eyewitness News Sports Sunday, Sunday night at 11:25.
You would have to say that this is one of the most perplexing stories to come along in a long time. In less than an hour, December 3rd will be upon us, and this is the day that a New Mexico climatologist says that a major earthquake will hit the Midwestern part of the country. Reporter Charles Zewe is in New Madrid, Missouri right now, where the quake supposedly will be centered sometime tomorrow. He filed this report a few moments ago from there.
The quake watch is continuing in the Midwest tonight, but so far, everything is quiet. The earth stood still, but quake parties jumped as residents in 7 states grappled with earthquake hysteria.
I'm prepared, but not to the full extent like some people are. I can't believe these people are serious. I think they think they're in Los Angeles.
Scientist Ibn Browning brought on quake mania when he predicted an even money chance the New Madrid fault, which snakes beneath the central U.S., is ready to rumble, a point scorned by quake experts.
That's exactly the wrong message for what's effective in earthquake preparedness and mitigation.
You know, I can't yell fire